G'day everybody, welcome back to our playthrough of Starfield. Hope you guys are doing well. In the previous episode, not too much happened aside from us picking up the final few powers that were available to us. I do still suspect that there are probably a few more temples out there that we have to sort of stumble across, which I don't think I'm going to be doing, because I think that'll be a lot of work for maybe very tangible rewards. But we spent the last half of the previous episode really just reconstructing our ship. And I guess we do have a ship ready here. I don't know if I'm like super satisfied with the ship. It is okay though. I mean, we've used a few different parts that we've not used before, which is kind of cool. A couple of battle stations on each side. Don't know really what that does for us, but anyway, a much larger cockpit as well, so that'd be kind of cool to look at. I figure we'll start this episode by doing a ship tour. I'm likely going to be losing my way in this ship because I haven't exactly, planned everything to a T and, really worked out where things should be and should be located ideally. But we'll find out as we look through the ship. I mean, there's obviously also the problem of the game rearranging the different entrances and stairwells and stuff, the ladders in positions that we might not like it to be. But what can you do against something like that? Maybe there are mods out there that'll fix that sort of thing. I do like having a armory that's close to the bay, or an armory that's also attached to the docking section of the ship. It just sort of makes sense, like if you're going into danger outside of the ship, then you'd want to arm yourself before you step outside. Alright, so it looks like we've got initially here what is this? Oh, this must be the captain's quarters. Yeah, alright. Interesting. I would prefer the captain's quarters to be not as accessible as some of the other rooms. Not as accessible to some of the other crew members as the other rooms. So yeah, this is probably not the best placement for it, but it's okay. Not going to worry about it too much. We've got the mess hall here, which is a very large piece, obviously. There's another pathway up there that we could take. So yeah, I do like the mess hall piece. Kind of cool. Then we've got the infirmary over here. And this has... oh yeah, okay. Yeah, this is still the second deck. Or the middle deck, I guess. And then there's a pathway up here, which should lead to more of the sort of functional sections of the ship, like the battle stations and stuff, I feel. Yeah, I think this is one of the battle stations. Or is it? Or maybe this is a computer core, actually. Yeah, this might be the battle station right here, yeah. And the battle station, you can sort of see what's going on outside as well. Some living quarters here. Very nice. I like it. And then this leads us to possibly the control station. This is going to be the cockpit. We'll save the cockpit for last, I reckon. More crew quarters here. And I think this is a science work station, or a science wing. Another battle station here. Very nice. Cool. I'm just trying to remember where I decided to place the docker. I feel like the docker is another deck above us. Yeah, here. So we can keep going straight up to reach the docker. Okay. Apparently the game doesn't want us to go up. There we go. Right, and I can't remember what space this is exactly. I think this is just like a common area. People can have meals here and stuff, and yeah, there's the docker right there. And another common area here. It's very similar. Yeah, not a bad looking ship.
Ahoy, Captain!
But yeah, let's get back downstairs and let's go to the cockpit, check that out. Which way? I easily get lost in these ships. Alright. And I guess this is the best part of the ship, I reckon, the larger cockpit. I do quite like it. I've always been using like smaller cockpits in the past. Plenty of seats for a lot of crew members, so I don't know why there are so many seats. I'm just figuring out where the panels are for accessing like inventory and stuff. Here. Artillery screen. Don't need that. This is the cargo hold, which is good. Oh yes, and the captain's locker is just here. You know, that's a very weird position for the locker though. It seems like it's going into nothing. I would much prefer the locker to be set up maybe there, for example. It makes sense. But anyway. Navigation console. Oh right, yep, we can navigate to different systems from here. That's cool. Not exactly required since we can simply access the map from wherever we are, I guess. Right, so the first thing that we need to do is to actually make our way to Androphon and our base. But I am sort of hoping that in the process of doing that, we can also have a bit of a space fight, you know? Because I want to test out the weapons on this thing. Okay guys, sorry about that. I did have to cut a little bit there because I had an issue with the audio, but I think I've managed to fix it. Unfortunately, we haven't really found any enemies in orbit of Androphon here, so I'm thinking we probably do want to just jump around a little bit and see if we can, you know, find some people to fight. We may as well go to some destinations that we've not been to before, just to find some enemies.
Aha! An offering for the great serpent.
There we go. We got some Varun. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if the missiles lock on, actually. Oh, yeah, they do. Okay.
This is a Freestar collective vessel. Please respond.
These,
You're all right in our book. Take care, stranger.
These missiles, they're almost like insta-kill. I feel a little bit bad about that. But hey, we worked hard to get all of the equipment that we're using for the ship, so, you know, we may as well use them. Concrete research lab. Okay. So these 3 dots didn't seem to be appearing before when we hadn't arrived here. Yeah, we've been to Vectera before. Have we been here? Yeah, I don't know if perhaps maybe there's a bug that prevents you from seeing all of the points of interest on a planet. But yeah. Okay guys, back again. Sorry about that. This time had some visual glitches as well that I needed to fix up, but I think we should be good here. So we've had at least one fight, and I think I'm satisfied enough to see what our offensive capabilities are. So I'm gonna drop down to Androphon. Obviously going to land the ship at our base, and I'm gonna set up the artillery once more. And I think we'll just place it down where it was originally, which is right here in the center of our base. It is still, as I said before, a bit of a disappointment that you couldn't set up the artillery somewhere within the confines of your base. I feel like that's a really big missed opportunity, like so many others, I feel, in this game. Let's see. Artillery. Yeah, I think that's probably a good enough location for it. So now that we've got the artillery, we just need to power up the grav drive to jump, I believe. There's another thing there. Or remove the artillery to grav jump normally. Yeah, okay. Cool. So would that mean that you could... Hang on. If we're leaving the artillery out here in this base, would that mean that we would have to live in the next universe and we won't be able to come back to the artillery again after we go through the Unity? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how it all works. Anyway, does not matter. Let's head back to the ship. We'll take off one last time in this universe, and we'll go through the Unity, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, this feels like the end of the game, guys. I don't know if we'll get credits. I know that, you know, this is likely going to be, you know, not the end, so technically you can still play the game even towards the end, or even after you pass through the Unity. But, yeah, I wonder if we're gonna get, like, ending credits or something along those lines. Let's use the missiles. Okay. I wonder if I was having a problem there because simply the enemy was a starborn. I could lock on, but when I fired my missiles, they seemed to miss their target every single time. Yeah, not entirely sure. Anyway, that does not matter because we have a new universe to visit. So power up the grav drive to jump to the Unity. Okay. But, I have powered up the grav drive, no? Okay, I need more power in there. Okay. Well, we can see ourselves there.
You made it. I hope you're enjoying the view. I never get tired of staring at it. Eternity.
I don't sound anything like that. We've never heard ourselves talk, though. I don't sound anything like that.
Everyone says that when they hear themselves for the first time. But no, you don't sound like this. At least, not this you. I am as much you as you are a part of everything. All points connect to here. When a star is born or dies, its existence beats through the heart of this place. The unity. I have seen all you are, have been, and could be. Do you feel like you've lived a good life? Is there anything you regret?
So wait, am I dead?
Do you feel dead? You are energy, and energy cannot be destroyed.
Well, I've done all I can and made peace with what I couldn't.
That's good. You will need that clarity for what comes next. In order to become Starborn, you must give the universe one last thing. Yourself. That intangible part of you. That something that makes you unique amongst the infinite will explode like a supernova. A part of you will fuse with the essence of this universe, while another part leaves it behind forever. Do you understand what I mean? This one final leap will change this universe forever, even as you leave it behind.
Wait, the artifacts, the temples, the armillary, who created them, and why?
Unknowingly, you just answered your own questions. For who creates things but creators? That is what they have been named throughout the endless circle of time. Are they one or many? Human or alien? Terrestrial or celestial? One day, you might even meet the creators, but not this day. As for the why, so that you could ask that very question, so that you could stand before me for time immemorial and delve into the mysterious of the unending cosmos.
The Starborn said I would be reborn. This sounds like death.
Much like the death of a star creates new kinds of matter, so will the part of your being become fused with the unity itself. That part is what becomes Starborn and crosses into the multiverse. Through your eyes, it will be as if waking up from a dream. Walk into the gate of light, and you will become Starborn. Everything will vanish, and you will awaken somewhere else. But that isn't your only potential destiny. You could turn around, walk away from the unity until the stars fade away, and you will wake up on your own ship, in your universe. You could live out the life you have. I have enjoyed speaking to you once again. All of you. Every version that is here in the Unity, right now. Go out into the stars.
Okay.
As you consider stepping towards infinity, I offer you a glimpse into what will happen to the universe you may be leaving. As the essence of who you are is spread throughout space and time.
Okay, so this is our legacy, I guess. Is that Andrasia?
By defeating both the hunter and the emissary, the path to the unity in this universe is left for the people of the settled systems to discover on their own, uninterrupted by powerful Starborn. The Constellation membership who stays behind will in time publish their data about the discovery of the artifacts, the Starborn, and the Unity. Space exploration across the settled systems is given new life as people search for home out there in the stars.
That's a very good outcome for Constellation, at least.
The resurrection of the Asili species leads to a massive reduction in terramorph attacks across the settled systems. At the same time, the need to spread the Asilis far and wide increases cooperation between all the factions. Belief in the UC as the diplomatic leader of the settled systems grows.
Yeah, that's a decent outcome for the terramorph thing as well. That's good.
Ron Hope's downfall proves once again that the Freestar Rangers put justice above petty power plays and politics. A sense of commitment to the common good grows throughout the Freestar Collective. Acts of heroism and noble sacrifice increase.
Alright, we've got a couple more things on that side. I guess if there is a regret, perhaps maybe it could be the Crimson Fleet thing. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like the idea of pirates sort of living their life their way, you know, being free, so to speak. But they were sort of sowing chaos for other people who live in the settled systems.
Your work with UC Systef against the Crimson Fleet is a triumph of law over greed. The UC establishes greater security throughout the settled systems. Travelers throughout the stars will be safer.
So I wonder if there's anything missing here. There seems like a space over that side that's a bit empty. And perhaps maybe there's something that I missed. I'm not sure. If anyone knows, feel free to leave some comments about that.
Ryujin Industries mass produces the internal neuroamp, which becomes the killer device every negotiator, diplomat, and salesperson purchases. When people think of success, they think of Ryujin, whether they want to or not.
Okay. I'm not entirely sure I'm satisfied with the ending for Ryujin here, because I guess if it were up to me, I would can the neuroamp development completely. Okay, well, I've seen everything here. I'm not entirely sure how to progress. Perhaps maybe I just need to walk to the center and actually pass through the Unity or something. So we're not really through the Unity just yet. I could walk away, apparently, and just decide to stay in our current universe, but...
It has been good to see you.
Alright. I can't talk to myself again. So this is it.
Although you leave this universe behind, a new universe awaits you. Who will you be in this one? What choices will you make?
Alright. There we go, guys. That is the playthrough. I would say that we're probably going to end the series here. I'm not entirely sure how long the credits are going to be, but I'll let this play through. But, you know, if you want to skip ahead in the video, that's fine as well. I would like to maybe impart my thoughts on the game, since I've, I guess, played through everything to the best of my ability. It's not a bad game, but obviously not without its flaws, and there are many flaws. I would say that it does give us a level of intrigue, but then, you know, it's a little bit sort of smoke and mirrors, and that is partially due to the limitations of the engine that Bethesda has decided to use, which is, again, the creation engine, which, you know, they've been using for many, many years now. You can tell that it is very outdated, and I feel like there were, you know, a lot of improvements to the engine, that's for sure. You know, like, I really enjoyed how people's sort of lip movements were sort of syncing with what they were saying, and, you know, that part was pretty impressive. Textures and all that sort of stuff are really, really good. But yeah, in terms of AI behavior and all that sort of stuff, it's just really, really, let's say, outdated by about 10 years or so, 10, 15 years. I feel like people are still moving around like they move around in Skyrim, and that's not really very good at all, because it definitely breaks the immersion. And I would say that some of the most frustrating elements of this game is actually dealing with NPC interactions and companion interactions, right? Because sometimes you'd start conversations, and then the actual in-game physics does something to the character, or the character's in the middle of doing something, and they take a little bit of time to sort of finish what they're doing before they engage in the conversation, but the conversation's already moving forward. People don't turn around when they're supposed to be, you know, speaking to you, which feels really, really weird. We've had many instances of that being a problem. NPCs just like walking in front of you while you're having a conversation with other NPCs. Really big gripe that I have. But, to be fair, a lot of games have that problem. But yeah, I just sort of wish that in terms of game design, they sort of thought about those sorts of issues and really tried to polish things a little bit more to try and make the game that much more immersive, right? Now, I really, really love the whole NASA punk aesthetic that they've got going, and that, as soon as you watch the first trailer, I mean, you are roped in 100%, right? Like, I really enjoyed the world and the level of realism that went into the, aesthetic. One thing that was a missed opportunity, I've probably mentioned this multiple times, is the fact that they don't have any ground vehicles. I feel like, we've been using ground vehicles as a species for, 5 millennia or something, or, I mean, maybe even longer, 5, 6, 7 millennia. And I feel like we should really have ground vehicles as part of the game. Air vehicles is also a thing. Right? I mean, I know we've got spaceships and stuff, but it seems like there's a missed opportunity for planetary air vehicles as well. So, if you think about how Mass Effect sort of portrays its world every time you go to the Nexus, it's a giant cyberpunk city, and there are like, hover cars or hover transports or whatever you want to call them gliding around everywhere. And I feel like that is something that should have been explored as well, potentially. Drones, things like that. Just, various bits of technology that exist today that should exist in this game that hasn't really been explored too much. And I reckon they could have done that and, introduced, say, improvements and stuff like that to said technology, put some creativity in there. The other thing that I also would have liked is better story when it comes to companion NPCs. Sure, there was some parts that I did like killing off a character that was, out of left field. I wasn't expecting that, and I felt like that was a pretty brave thing for the dev team to do, but I just found that aside from that development, the other companions that we were left with, we didn't really have too much more development other than a few things here and there, and it wasn't that impactful, if you ask me. And still a huge question mark about Andresia. I was fully expecting that there would be something more that we could do with her, and that she would actually give us some kind of a quest line. It never happened though, so there's that. Speaking of Andresia, another missed opportunity is the Varun. We barely met any Varun or House Varun members. I understand that the lore behind them was that they were sort of secluded, I guess. They kept out of the limelight, and it's very difficult to find the Varun. Yeah, so I get that, but it seems like a very lazy way of not, exploring that faction even more. So, yeah, I just wished that we got to know the Varun a little bit more, and I feel like that element of the the settled systems was a bit void, right? So I guess I do like the dynamic between the existing factions, so the Freestar, the UC, and how there was a war in the past, etc., etc. I would have liked to see a few more quests related to, say, diplomatic efforts between the UC and the Freestar. So I feel like that was a bit of a missed opportunity there. But yeah, aside from that though, look, maybe there are some gameplay elements like, you know, the fact that most planets are barren. Okay, I get it, but, you know, I feel like there could be a few more settlements that were set up, a few more bigger settlements that were set up, and even more quests that we could do in said settlements. Yeah, I just feel like the base building and all of that, it was quite interesting, and you can get very intricate, but there are some mechanics that I wish were, you know, standard, such as, you know, things like snapping and stuff, you know, like it'd make base building and stuff like that much more enjoyable. Now, despite all of that, there is a really good baseline game here to enjoy. Otherwise, I wouldn't have spent, 150 or so hours playing this game. And yeah, I did enjoy quite a bit of it. There are a lot of interesting quests, albeit there were, you know, quite a few quests where it was simply just go here, kill a bunch of people, or, you know, simple fetch quests, things like that. One big thing about the quests that I guess got frustrated with is the fact that there are quite a few quests in my list that feel like they were bugged, right? And I do wish that at this point in the game's life cycle, Bethesda would have already fixed said bugs. But unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case. So that quest line where we had to fetch potatoes for someone to be able to be let go from the crew, I think that's the ECS Constance. Every time we tried to go back to the ECS Constance, we just couldn't find it, right? So don't know what the deal is with that. And yeah, I feel like there's a few other examples of quests that were broken. Even the quest line with Ko, because that seems like a pretty big major quest line. You know, that can essentially be a bit broken, and I had to sort of push Ko along to try and get closer to his grandfather's statue before he would start talking to us about his grandfather and his life. So, you know, things like that should have been ironed out before the game was even launched, if you ask me. But anyway, I did enjoy things like the weapons. The weapons were actually kind of cool. I don't know if I found every single weapon. The shipbuilding is actually quite interesting. I would have preferred being able to just build the ships straight up without having to be, you know, blocked by needing to spend skill points and stuff like that in certain skills. I guess you could argue the same way for like the, you know, spacesuit modifications and the weapon modifications. I guess we could have focused on certain things, but I don't know. It just seems like you introduce something cool, but then you know, gatekeeping people from actually experiencing all the cool things in your game doesn't seem very good, you know? Especially if you can't justify things where the gameplay loop might be a little bit, you know, tedious here and there, right? Scanning of planets and stuff. I mean, I did a little bit of that, but then I quickly found that that was just a cash-making thing, so there was no real incentive to get into that too much. But yeah. I guess overall I'm trying to say that there is a good base game here, and, you know, it's not all bad, and I guess if you guys follow along with the discourse around Starfield, you know, a lot of people were very disappointed, and understandably so. I can see why many people were disappointed. But at the end of the day, though, credit where credit's due, right? There's still a good base game to be had. Plenty of jank Plenty of jank, but still a pretty decent base game. I just wished that there was more polish here. I'm not trying to defend the game. It's definitely no game of the year, but I did have some fun with it. Alright, I think I'm going to shut my trap here and let the credits roll for a little bit, but I'll definitely be back when the credits have ended, and yeah, we'll see where this new universe, I guess, takes us, because I guess we're supposed to be able to do more stuff, make more decisions, etc, etc. So yeah, I'll be back when that happens. Okay guys, I decided to fast forward through the credits. One reason for that is because I think you can find the credits on the main menu anyway, so you guys can take a look if you do have the game. Otherwise, I think there are some people who have posted the credits on YouTube anyway, but yeah, the main reason why I've skipped along really is because it takes about 40 minutes or so to get through the entire list of credits. So yeah, I don't think I want to do that for this vid, so I'll continue on from here. Starborn, that is what you have become, a being who has touched the infinite. Your story is over, but will begin anew in this universe and countless others. You remember all you have learned. Your possessions and everyone you knew have been left behind. Explore this new universe and all it offers, and perhaps take another trip through the Unity. Alright. So I guess the idea here is that you can go through the Unity as often as you want to, provided that you can have the patience to obviously go through the story again in this universe and go through the Unity a second time, or a third time, or a fourth time, etc, etc. Okay, we have a Starborn ship, I guess. Oh, look at that. We have a Starborn spacesuit now. Can we actually make these spacesuits ourselves? I wonder. Starborn spacesuit Astra. Interesting. It does look kind of cool, though. Do we have a helmet as well, or? It doesn't look like it, so maybe the helmet is just part of the spacesuit. It's all one. You don't need a separate helmet. Can we do anything special in this ship, or is this ship purely for traveling between universes? Could be. The other thing is, like, where do we actually get the ship from? Okay, we get a captain's locker. How does this work? Does this go anywhere? No. This is the cargo hold. And yeah, I suppose that's it, maybe. Alright, let's jump in. Alright, and we are actually in the ship. We can fight using the ship as well. Very interesting. Where are we? Right, we're at the planet that we start the game from. Argos Extractor's mining outpost is there. Do we have any objectives? One small step. Go to the lodge, the Mast District. Well, okay then.
Unregistered starship. We're detecting,
Well, it's what we're not detecting that's an issue. What's powering that thing? You know what? Just hold still while we do the contraband check. Scan complete. You are cleared to land in New Atlantis.
Okay. I mean, if these people haven't seen this type of ship before, wouldn't everyone be in a bit of a panic or whatever, you know? Yeah, I would have preferred if maybe there are like a whole bunch more people out here like admiring the ship and like wondering what's going on, you know? I've never seen this before. Seems a little unrealistic. Let's have a chat with our ship services technician.
This ship of yours, does it take standard, you know what? We'll figure it out.
So let's view and modify ships.
Sure, have at it.
Yeah, okay, we can't build using this menu. So yeah, there's no way of modifying a Starborn ship, but yeah, I wouldn't be using the Starborn ship, I reckon. I'd probably be using like a regular old ship if we do need to traverse, because I reckon the Starborn weapons and stuff like that aren't really up to scratch. But yeah, no explanation as to, you know, how one suddenly becomes a Starborn after the Unity. There was that sort of, you know, very small explanation about there being a creator, and we've not yet met the creators or whatever. Somehow between walking through the Unity and now, they've managed to strap a Starborn spacesuit on us and given us a Starborn spaceship. Right, so we're supposed to go to our friends.
Sergeant Yumi is looking for reliable people to help the guard. Contact him if you're interested. We'd all appreciate it.
Yeah, okay, so the game starts anew, basically. We can do all of the quests again if we really wanted to. But I guess it just becomes a bit of a playground for us, even though we're already at, what level are we? I mean, yeah, we've still got all of our skills. We're at level 59.
Excuse me, this is a private... Wait. There's something familiar about you. Vasco, identify.
Scanning. Cross-referencing known employee records of our affiliated organizations. Please remain still. This appears to be the miner from Argos Extractors. Lost as we were carrying the artifact from Vectera. Current whereabouts, previously unknown.
I see. Vasco already delivered the artifact. So, why are you showing up now?
Okay, so we get a choice to repeat the main quest, or to skip it completely. I'm not who you think I am. I'm Starborn. I know what the artifacts are.
You're a... I see. So some of our theories about the artifacts are correct.
You're taking their word for it? What if this person's just delusional? Breathed in too many gases in that mining operation.
Why don't we hear him out? We know next to nothing. We have everything to gain if he's telling the truth.
All right, let's hear it.
This is gonna sound weird, but I've done all of this before. I came here with an artifact and joined Constellation.
So, that's what we're looking for. The pieces to an armillary. A path to the center of a multiverse.
This is either the truth or the most elaborate practical joke I've ever witnessed.
I think we're past the point of doubting, Walter.
In any event, we'll be able to see for ourselves. We know where most of the artifacts are now, and presumably how we get them.
You could gather up the artifacts easily while I look for the other Starborn.
I don't know if you should rush off to meet them. Some of those artifacts granted you powers, am I right? We should leverage that. I want you to check with Vladimir on the Eye. Cross-reference what you've told us with what he's picking up on the scans. You track down the artifacts the Eye finds, while we gather the others.
You're not the same Sarah I knew, but it's still good to see you again, old friend.
I hope that other Sarah of yours knows you're safe. Now let's get those artifacts.
Okay, and just like that, we are essentially repeating a bit more of what we did in the previous universe. I wonder what happened to all of our crew. Do they all become Starborn as well? Or maybe they are Starborn but they go to like separate universes and stuff? Who knows? But I think this is where we're going to be calling it a series, guys. As I said, enjoyed playing through Starfield. There's definitely some issues that I feel Bethesda should be ironing out. I don't know if they will, but I had a good time. And I don't regret playing Starfield at all. Yeah, I hope if you have been following along this far, that you enjoyed the series and the playthrough, and coming along on my journey through the game. Signing out here, guys. Thanks for watching again. If you did enjoy the series, leaving that like on the videos definitely helps, especially on the first episode. Otherwise, stay true, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.